Welcome, my friends, to our Divine Destiny study today, and come follow me as we take a look at the first and second chapters of Thessalonians. And my friends, as I was reading this today, there's two things that popped into my mind, and I'm going to do something a little bit unconventional that I haven't done before, but it just absolutely was pressed upon my heart. I'm going to share with you a video that came to my mind as I was reading this information about Paul and how he was teaching and talking to the saints about their actions and what they do. The first thought that came to my mind is a thought I've shared with you on many occasions, and that was from St. Francis of Assisi, who said in the 1600s, thousands of years ago, he said, teach the gospel, and if necessary, use words. My friends, teach the gospel, and if necessary, use words. The second thing that popped into my mind and always brings emotion to my heart is this video about a dad talking about his boy and what he learned in his association with his son and the things that he was teaching him. You may have heard of it, but it's a song by Rodney Aikens. And so I'm just going to play this for you, and then we'll visit for just a second afterwards.
Hey, little bear, where'd you learn that song?
You, Daddy.
Oh, you ready to go? Okay. Driving through town, just my boy and me, with a Happy Meal in his booster seat, knowing that he couldn't have the toy till his nuggets were gone. A green traffic light turned straight to red. I hit my brakes and mumbled under my breath. His fries went a-flying and his orange drink covered his lap. Well, in the 4-year-old said a 4-letter word. It started with S, and I was concerned. So I said, son, now where'd you learn to talk like that? He said, I've been watching you, Dad, ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo, I wanna be like you and eat all my food and grow as tall as you are. We got cowboy boots and camel pants, yeah, we're just alike, hey, ain't we there? I wanna do everything you do, so I've been watching you. We got back home and I went to the barn. I bowed my head and I prayed real hard. Said, Lord, please help me help my stupid self. The nest shot at bedtime later that night, turning on my son's Scooby-Doo nightlight. He crawled out of bed and he got down on his knees. He closed his little eyes, folded his little hands, spoke to God like he was talking to a friend. And I said, son, now where'd you learn to pray like that? He said, I've been watching you, Dad, ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo, I wanna be like you and eat all my food and grow as tall as you are. We like mixing things and holding mama's hand, yeah, we're just alike, hey, ain't we there? I wanna do everything you do, so I've been watching you. With tears in my eyes, I wrapped him in a hug, said my little bear is growing up. And he said, but when I'm big, I'll still know what to do. Cause I've been watching you, Dad, ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo, I wanna be like you and eat all my food and grow as tall as you are. I didn't know be strong as Superman would be just like, hey, won't we there? When I can do everything you do, cause I've been watching you.
Hopefully you were able to see that, my friends, and that brings emotion to my eyes every time, because who are we, my friends? Who do we want to be? I know that when we were in heaven with our Father in heaven, that He was everything that we wanted to be like. And so was our Heavenly Mother, and so was our brother. And so as we see this information, this counsel that Paul is giving to the Thessalonians today, we find this very thing, this very idea. He starts out by saying these words. If we go into, let's just pick a couple of verses instead of reading a bunch of them. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, if we go back down into verse 7, he says this, so that ye were examples unto all that believe in Macedonia and Achaia. My friends, are we examples of what we believe? And I know, my friends, we always know more than we do. But that's the purpose for coming here. As you sing, I am a child of God, and you sing the words, teach me all that I must know, President Kimball years ago changed that to teach me all that I must do. We came here to do, not just to know, but we have to know before we do. And then, my friends, as you and I work with other people, our children, those we associate with, there is nothing so powerful as an example. And he teaches that if you jump into the second verse or second chapter, this is what Paul says to the Thessalonians. For ye yourselves, brethren, know that our entrance into you was not in vain. So he's talking about their interaction between Paul and the Thessalonians. He says, even after we had suffered before and were shamefully entreated, as you know, at Philippi, we were bold in our God, to speak unto you the gospel of God without much contention. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile, but we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel. Even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God, which trieth our hearts. For neither at any time have we used flattering words, as ye know, nor a cloak of covetousness, with God as our witness. So he's beginning to speak to these people, my friends. Our words only have the power that our actions have. Otherwise, it's flattery. Otherwise, if people can point to examples in your and my life, if we are genuine, my friends, we're going to make mistakes, just like this young father did with his boy. But what people need to see, my friends, is your genuine desire to be better. And the idea that you can change, and the idea that you want to change. And as you and I do that with people, my friends, everything changes. And so he continues. He says, but we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherisheth her children. My friends, when you and I get ideas into our mind, even a powerful testimony of the gospel, sometimes we're so exuberant about that we don't allow others the same time period, the same process that we went through. And even if we went through it faster than someone else, remember how the Savior treats you and I. I love that he says, we affectionately are desirous of you, but we were gentle among you. We were willing to have imparted unto you not the gospel of God only, but also of our own souls, because ye were so dear to us. For remember, brethren, our labor and travail, for laboring night and day, because we would not be chargeable unto any of you that we preached the gospel of God. In other words, my friends, this idea that we want to serve and help, not just those whom we associate with, and for sure our families, my friends, but when you have a true testimony of the Savior, when you and I begin to understand the plan of salvation, then we become as Alma the Younger and the sons of Mosiah, when we come to ourselves, so to speak, and the Lord gives us that testimony, we become desirous that every single person has that experience because of the joy that it brings. Nothing so brings this joy, my friends, as being compassionate and loving and kind and working on ourselves and not on others. As you and I work on ourselves, people watch. People watch you become, and they become inspired to want to become. just like this little boy did with his dad. My friends, I invite you and I this day that we will ask Heavenly Father to use a funny line in his song. Ask Heavenly Father to help us help our stupid selves. Sometimes we're stupid. We don't mean to be. And if we do mean to be, we can still change it. My friends, I want, you want, we want to be like the Savior because he is the real deal. He is everything we believe he is. He is our friend. He is our atoning sacrifice. He is our way back to our Father. But not above all, because there's nothing above the atoning sacrifice. But my friends, it wasn't just a job to him. It wasn't a calling to him. You only do something like that if you truly and deeply love someone. Just as Paul's trying to teach the Thessalonians that they love them, you and I are invited by the Savior to love one another, to love and serve others. And the best way, my friends, that you and I can do that is also the same way that we reach our divine destiny and divine nature. And that is by loving and serving one another with an example of love. My friends, never forget who you are and whose you are, and have a wonderful day.